Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to discuss the next question of our agriculture optional answer writing practice series. So as you all know that we practice one question daily. So the question for today is discuss the remote sensing system used for ecosystem analysis. And the second part of the question is briefly discuss the use of remote sensing for drought monitoring. So in the first part of the question, we have to simply discuss what a remote sensing system is and how it is used for ecosystem analysis. We all know that a remote sensing system is used for ecosystem analysis. So we have to discuss that. And in the second part of the question, we have to discuss how we can use remote sensing for drought monitoring. And this question was asked in this year's civil services examination, that is agriculture optional of UPSC CSE of 2024. So let's see how we can approach the answer. So first of all, we should understand what remote sensing is. Remote sensing is. So as the word suggests, remote. So what remote means? Remote means that is something which is far away or away from us. Away from us. Or which is not touching us, kind of, it is the meaning of remote. So what in remote sensing we can do? We can collect data of any particular land or any particular forest or anything which is used in ecosystem. So we can collect all those data with being away from those systems, that is without touching those systems. Okay, suppose here we have forest, we have to collect the data from the forest. So we can use certain kind of satellites, we can use certain kind of drones, we can use another aerial vehicles. So that is how we can collect data and get accurate data of this area and evaluate those data. So this is what remote sensing is. So I hope you understand it. For example, in satellite we use various types of radiations. So what kind of radiation is emitted and then it is reflected back, then the satellite catches this radiation and we get a certain amount of data of this forest or any landscape present here. So this is what remote sensing is. And now, as the question is asking about ecosystem analysis, so we should know that remote sensing has various applications in ecosystem analysis. Applications in ecosystem analysis. So remote sensing has various applications in ecosystem analysis. The major ones are, we can do biodiversity monitoring, biodiversity monitoring. We can do, so first of all you should understand what we can do in biodiversity monitoring. We can track different species, we can track the habitat quality of certain kind of biodiversity, so that can be done. Secondly, we can check for land use changes, land use change. We can analyze various types of lands, either it could be urban lands, agricultural lands, or any kind of conservational areas such as national parks or wildlife sanctuaries. All those can be nicely analyzed here. We can do climate change studies. We can do climate change studies, such as we can assess the climate change, we can see the shift in species distribution due to this climate change, we can see the shifts in various resources due to this climate change. So all these things can be done. So these are the major applications of remote sensing in ecosystem analysis. And I think by using these points you can structure your answer. Here you can also write the various types of remote sensing systems used in ecosystem analysis. Okay, so what can we do in remote sensing for ecosystem analysis? So first of all, we can do satellite imagery. That is, here we will capture image using the satellites, various types of satellites which are used in remote sensing. For example, you can also, such as Landsat is there. These are various types of satellites. We have Sentinel there, as Sentinel. We have Sentinel satellites. So these are some of the common types of satellites, and these can help us to get hyperspectral image. Okay, remember the term hyperspectral image. We can get hyperspectral image of various vegetation, land cover changes, water bodies. So all these things can be done. Secondly, we can do aerial surveys. Aerial surveys can done here. We can use various types of UAVs, that is unmanned aerial vehicles. You all know it. For example, drones. So these can be used for ecosystem analysis. Here we can get access to difficult terrain. Suppose there is a mountain here and a person is not able to go and take data of ecosystem here. The drone can be sent and this drone will be able to fly through these difficult terrains and get the data for our studies. So real surveys can be done. We can use lidar. It is a very much emerging concept. We all know about lidar, that is light detection and ranging. So here lidar can be also used for creating 3D models of vegetation structure, to create 3D models of certain terrain. So all these things can be done from lidar. So lidar here we use light. Okay, the name only suggests light detection and ranging. So that is lidar. Next, we can use radar remote sensing. Radar remote sensing. And and the most common example here is SAR. You have heard about synthetic aperture radar. Okay, so this is the most common example, and the benefit is that it can penetrate and clouds and other things. Okay, for example, light is not able to penetrate the clouds or opaque substances, but here radar could be, for example, synthetic aperture radar is able to penetrate that. And here we can also, this can be also simply help us in observing land use changes, soil moisture changes, vegetable structure changes. So all the vegetation structure changes, all these things can be done. As discussed, also we can do hypersectoral imaging in as from satellites also. So you should know the term, this hypersectoral imaging, it is very important. We can also integrate this remote sensing with GIS. We can integrate with GIS. Here we can do various things such as habitat modeling, biodiversity assessments can be done, impact of human activities on ecosystems can be observed. So all these things can be done. We can do ecological modeling. Ecological modeling can be done. So these are the various types of remote sensing and various types of things we can do from various types of remote sensing. So I hope you understand this. So this is how you can approach the first part of question. You can write applications in ecosystem analysis. You can write about these remote sensing systems and how they are used in ecosystem analysis, and that will be enough. Okay. Now the second part of the question is asking us about briefly discuss the use of remote sensing for drought monitoring. So we will see it. Use of remote sensing for drought monitoring. Drought monitoring. So how remote sensing can be used for drought monitoring? Through the use of remote sensing, we can do vegetation health assessment. Vegetation health assessment. So what? Here we can use NDVI. I hope you have heard about NDVI. This is normalized difference vegetation index, and I have discussed all these things in detail in my static videos. So what NDVI help us to know about certain things. Okay, by calculating NDVI, we can get to know about vegetation health. We can get to know about stress levels. Suppose there is drought, so by calculating NDVI, we can get to know how much stress are in crops. Okay, how much stress the crops are facing due to these droughts. So vegetation health assessment can be done. Secondly, we can do soil moisture estimation. Soil moisture estimations. Estimation. So soil moisture estimations can be done here. So for that we can use SMAP. So what SMAP is? It is soil moisture active passive. It provides various types of soil moisture data, and especially it can be very helpful in drought monitoring, so that we can calculate the levels of soil moisture present in our soil. We can do precipitation monitoring. Precipitation monitoring. because in drought we can check for precipitation if it is going to happen or not happen. If it is going to not happen, how can we use various things, how can we plan various things. So all these things can be helpful, and here we generally use GPM, that is global precipitation measurement, or we can use TRMM. This TRMM is tropical rainfall measuring mission. Okay, so these are both can be done through remote sensing. We can do temperature monitoring, because in drought, especially in arid areas, we see there is the temperature is always increasing. Okay, there is high temperatures present. So for that we can do temperature monitoring, and we can plan various things as per the temperature. Here we can use LST. It is, that is, it is used to calculate land surface temperature. LST, land surface temperature. So we can capture here various temperature variations and what could be its impact on the plants due to drought. So that can be done. We can do water body monitoring. Water body monitoring, here we can get to know how due to the drought our water bodies are reacting. Is the water, is they are changing into water stress. So we can check for various surface water dynamics. For example, there are lakes, rivers, and we can check the effect of drought on them. We can do drought indices development. We can develop drought indices. Drought indices development. So drought indices can be developed. So here there is one thing, that is SPI, that is standardized precipitation index. Standardized precipitation index. So through this we can develop various indices to check for drought. If the precipitation is lower ends, we can go for certain grades of droughts. If the precipitation is very low, we can go for some severe grades of drought. So that can be developed. Okay, we can do crop yield prediction, how much the yield will be in the droughts, by monitoring crop growth. We can check for land use and land cover changes during drought. Land use and land cover changes during drought. We can check for climate change monitoring, because due to drought and the climate change is the major reason for this increasing frequency of drought. So climate change monitoring obviously can be done. We can develop decision support systems. Okay, if the suppose the rainfall is lowering, or the rainfall is lowered as compared to our normal rainfall, so through using remote sensing we can develop decision support systems. Well, these will help us to support our decision, which crop to grow, will that crop will be able to survive or not. So all these things can be done. And in conclusion, so this is, I think, all for role of remote sensing in drought monitoring. And in conclusion, you can write some positive statements of remote sensing, how it is helping us in agriculture, forestry, land usage changes, all the things, and overall ecosystem analysis. So that could be on you, how you add conclusion to the answer. So that is all for today. And I hope you understand the both parts of the question, how you can approach this answer. So that is all for today. If you like it, please press the like button. Please do share, and please do subscribe. It takes a lot of hard work to make such videos for you on regular basis, and if you like, if you share, if you subscribe, it motivates us to make more such videos for you regularly. So that is all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.